We watched last year while you guys did what you did after the bye week. We watched what you did as the season wore on, got late in the year, and into the postseason, where your defense was playing about as well as a defense can play in terms of getting to the quarterback, in terms of stopping teams, turning the ball over. And I'm looking right now at what I'm seeing over the course of the last, I don't know, 7, 8 weeks. You guys are giving up 15 and a half points per game. You have given up the fewest passing touchdowns in the league in that span of time. Is this similar in a lot of ways to the way I think Vic said to me in the summer that you guys kind of, everything kind of came together and you evolved during the year. Is that happening right now?
Yes, sir. That's usually how I go after 18 games. You get comfortable with the guys, you create trust, and you just start playing together, man. And that's all we do. And we know that going into the playoffs is like a new season. So we take that mindset, like we go into a new season, but we got some carryover from the 18 games, and we just keep playing together and keep bonding and keep going.
Your ability and obviously Jalix's ability, you guys have guys who can get to the quarterback and have the ability to change the game from the outside. How This is going to sound like an odd question. How competitive is that? How is it? Well, you know what? If he's going to get one here, then I'm going to get one here too.
Man, we always say, man, meet me there, don't beat me there. And that's one of the characteristics about our whole D-line front. We say it on every third down, and we all just trying to rush to get a sack, but we all play together and we all try to affect the pocket. Either if I get him out, somebody else get the sack, or somebody else, if they get him out, I get the sack. So we're not a selfish front at all, man, and we just play together and we love doing it.
How much did Brandon Graham coming back mean to you, to your teammates? I know he was still a big presence even when he wasn't back yet, but how much did him coming back change anything?
Man, it changed everything, man. BG is one of those guys that you can lean on, you can talk to, and he's seen so much football that it's just easy to ask him, "Hey, what you think about this?" or "What should we do here?" or "What do you think about that?" And we just pick his brain, man. Guy been in the league for 15, 16 years, man. It's hard not to ask him questions.
I know that you have said in the past that people may not realize this. You go up and practice against guys every day, that you've learned a lot from both of your tackles about how to rush a passer. How does something like that come about? Are you picking their brain, or are Lane and Jordan saying things to you?
Mostly, it's me picking their brain, man. Lane and Jordan are just so amazing, and especially during, fall camp times when we going against each other every day. Oh man, you should try this, or you should do that, or that was a good move. And us going back and forth, especially in the joint practices, because we watch they pass rush reps and they watch us, and just asking Lane, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And then asking Jordan, because they seen a lot of really good pass rushes over their time, and I'm just asking questions just to pick their brain and see how they see things.
People don't realize that rushing the passer, it's a little bit like a receiver running routes. It's, you're trying to show them one look and then you're varying from that look with whatever it is you're doing and you're changing it up each time. Is that a feel? Is that something that you plan for? Is that instinct?
Man, you mostly take it on instincts, but it's a feel, and it comes with repetition, just doing it over and over again. And kind of like you said, the wide receiver at the top of his route tree, he always working on his routes, sticking here, sticking there, and making sure everything looks smooth. It's the same thing with us. When we get to the top of our rush, that's like the top of our route tree. Go inside, outside, work this move, work that move, lift this arm, lift that arm. So it's just so much that we really get into.
This is a team that you're facing that's got a lot of firepower. And if you take week 18 and throw it out of the mix, the previous 6 weeks they were averaging more than 35 points per game. They've got Christian McCaffrey, they've got George Kittle. You take a look at them on film. What do you have to stop first?
Man, we go into every game saying we got to stop the run. They got amazing run defense and they got amazing running back. Everybody knows about Christian McCaffrey and he's a hard-nosed runner, and they do amazing across the O line up front, man. And that's what we go in every game saying we got to stop the run and we earn the right to rush the passer.
In that situation, when you've got a guy like McCaffrey who's capable of doing a whole bunch of things, including catching the ball out of the backfield, do you kind of have to have your head on a swivel with what you're doing? Do you expect that you're going to be doing more dropping than you normally do, which is, a couple of times a game?
Oh man, that's up to Coach Vic. I'll just play the call, and I trust Coach Vic ultimately because he been doing this for years. When you ask Coach Vic what we going, when he says we gonna do this, that on this down and that down, when we going into each drive, look up for this, look up for that. It's usually he 100% right. Not knock on wood, but he's usually right most of the time.
Well, the other head coach has been trying to get Vic as his defensive coordinator for a lot of years. There's so much respect there for what Vic does. It seems to me like he has tailored a defense that you guys have the ability to play, but also have the ability to kind of adapt to in a game. Is that right?
Yeah, I'd say a little bit of that. We can change stuff. And it's really his trust in us and the 11 guys that start for him every day. He trusts us and we trust him. And we play the call that's called every time.
You had a great run last year in the postseason in terms of getting home, getting to the quarterback, putting up sack numbers. What was that like for you to be in the middle of all of that as a still pretty young player in the league?
Man, it was really fun, and I had my setbacks this year with my elbow, and I'm just trying to be a part of the team and affect the quarterback like I've been doing for these last couple weeks, and hopefully I can start getting him on the ground.
And I'm going to play something for you right now. People will recognize this and they will know what this is, but what they don't know is that you have a story that's attached to this. Let's hear it.
1st and 10 with the shotgun snap to Mahomes. Crumbling pocket hit. Ball charged free. It's loose. The Eagles trying to get it, and they have on a fumble by Mahomes. His 3rd turnover. Eagles retrieve it at the Kansas City 18-yard line. And that may be the coup de grace. Milton Williams vacuumed it in and a big hit on Mahomes, who didn't know what hit him on that play.
Kevin Harlan right here on Westwood won from the Super Bowl last year. What people don't realize, I'm going to bet, Nolan, is that you had an opportunity to pick that ball up, but couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't. I had to kick it back to Milt. And as long as we got the ball and that was like the game closing moment, it was amazing for me, being a part of that and trying to pick the ball up, just fighting for it, man. It was fun, man. Especially when you got other guys that's getting to the quarterback too.
But you're trying to do it, and the reason you couldn't pick it up is you had a torn triceps in the middle of the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I tore my tricep in the middle of the Super Bowl, and I just kept playing, man. It's just one of those. You never know how many times I'll be back there, or how many chances I get. And especially with this team around here, man, we're an amazing team. We just try to take one game at a time, but I never know personally how many times I'll be back there.
This team has won 5 straight home playoff games, and I've lived in the Philadelphia area for 42 years now. I know what Philadelphia fans are like. I also know in these moments, it has a tendency to be loud and aggressive and a hard place to come win. What's it like being in the middle of all of that?
Man, I'll say it's electric. It's electrifying for a player, and it's terrifying for another group, man. Especially trying to get your calls on 3rd downs and everything. And I think it's amazing. I think it's fun. The crowd roar, and they're so into it. And you know how Philly fans be, man. They're just so into the game, and they watching every play, and I love that about them.
Thanks so much for the time. Really do appreciate it. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.